Hi, we're just going to show you our car, the three of us, Harriet, Phil, Shane. We'll just give you a quick walk around tour. Starting at the very top of the car, those green things are sand mats. We've got 4 of those. They will tuck in front of the wheels if we're stuck in sand, and you can move approximately 2 meters at a time if you're stuck. Up there is the 6 spare wheel. In the canvas bag are our deck chairs, and of course that is the tent. On the side here we've got a shovel for digging ourselves out. It's much better to dig rather than stress the car, just to clear the path for the vehicle if you are stuck. That's a high jack, which is handy for either changing wheels or leveraging out of a hole. This black thing is the snorkel, and it's actually a waterproof snorkel as opposed to a dust snorkel. The grey thing is a sunshade, which means it doesn't get much sun on the dashboard, it doesn't heat up the car. If I move around to the rear, sliding in there is a stainless steel our kitchen table, and it just slides out. On the side there is a large awning that'll come right out about 2-3 meters and either give you sunshade or, more importantly, protection from the rain. If I go to the front of the car, we've got these little things create a little whistling sound that humans can't hear to get wildlife off the road. That's a UHF VHF aerial, or CB. What you see in here is a 12,000 pound winch for dragging this out of any problems. I'll just show you quickly under the bonnet. It's a standard Landcruiser, but over here we have a second battery, and all the accessories run off that blue battery. The fridge, the USB plugs and things, so it doesn't drain the car battery flat. We move around to the Harriet side, because she's the navigator. Fantastic for that. We've got these stainless steel hooks and rings there. That's a Shane invented security device. I can lock all the doors with a chain, such that if we do go for a 4-hour hike or something, no one can actually open the doors, they can only break glass. Down here we have mozzie sprays and window creams and stuff like that for cleaning. Harris gets all the junk. Here's the UHF VHF CB radio. There's some USB ports in here, and used to run and charge things as we go. Next to it here, this thing here tells us each tyre pressure and also each tyre's temperature. It's plus or minus kind of 1 to 2 psi. It's reasonably accurate, but very handy if it's a very hot day outside. I've had the tyres up to 80 degrees Celsius, and it's time to slow down and even stop sometimes. I've got a CD player. A lot of junk in here. A lot of our cables are under this brown thing here. Cables for all kinds of things. Sun visor. I'll just go around to the driver's side now. Driver's side. This one here tells us the voltage of the intervolt system, which charges both batteries as we drive. It tells me the voltage. If you get down to 10-11 volts, the fridge turns off, things like that, in which case we need to plug the solar in. I'll tell you about that. Down here, the 4-wheel drive stick. This is the 4-wheel drive hub. Whilst you might have turned it into 4-wheel drive and using the gear stick, it won't actually engage 4-wheel drive unless we turn it from free to lock here. It's called locking the hubs. There's obviously a bull bar for knocking off wildlife, and what we have is sidebars here, which means if the car was to ever roll over or rubber bank, rub one of the banks is less damage. I'll take you around to the Phyllis's side. We've got extra gear in here which we wouldn't normally have, so I'm just trying to tell you how we'd normally show it. So we've got these two black bags here, and this has all our personal clothing in it. That's the only place where we have personal clothing. We also have tennis rackets and snorkeling gear. So everything, toiletries, is confined to those black bags. That's all we've got. Where that blue thing is, sometimes for a lot of the trip I had an extra 20 litres of diesel just stuck there. Phyllis has got a little wall hanging thing. There's your water bottle, she's a little bit crammed there. This yellow one is, we run it off the inverter, so we can actually plug small devices, 3-point plugs in there, such as charging our phones using the original 3. So in the back we've got a 300 watt inverter which allows you to run a 3-point plug just like that at home. If I move to the back now, under the rear of the car we've got a tow bar which you can slot things in. This particular one here, you can plug a socket, so solar straight in there. This one's for a trailer if we ever had one. This little hook here, I can put a padlock on there and it prevents the back doors from being open if somebody was to undo that. Behind the brown sheet is there so that people can't see what's in there, but more importantly it keeps the heat down because it's pretty hot there, and going through glass it stops a lot of things from overheating. So underneath the sheet I will reveal, got the gas bottle locked down in 3 points so it doesn't shake around and break the glass. This black bag is Harriet's computer gear. There's a printer in there, all her cables, keyboard, mouse, documents. The grey box here is kitchen. Phyllis is only allowed enough kitchen and dry foods that fit in the box. We can't have space for any other kitchen gear. It's all in the box. If it doesn't fit in the box we don't buy it. In the back here, you can't quite see over the back, is a little fold up 100 watt solar panel, which if we're planning to stay 2 nights or more at a place, I'll just hang it over the bonnet and plug it in. Orange bag you can see in the back here has got the laptop, Harriet's laptop for schoolwork. It's full of foam, stops it bouncing around. I'll just try and show in the picture there, you can just make out a blue box. That's full of Toyota parts, hoses, spare filters, things like that. Behind the grey box we've got a large picnic basket. Just next to the orange one we've actually got a TV which allows a DVD to be played, and we can plug that up in the tent. We hook that up sometimes if we sometimes we go to the library and you can get a 50-cent DVD, just like a 50-cent book. Also behind this grey one we've got some spare canvas, so the awning can actually have walls, and there are some zip up walls if we ever choose to use that. If I'm looking down a bit further, the grey, there's 2 of these grey things, they're water containers, 180 litres of water we can take. I've got this plumbing mechanism where we just shoot water into a pot, a couple of hoses. This green thing is actually a bra. It can go around the front of the vehicle if we're going through deep water. Haven't used it really here. It's more taking it home for the vehicle at home. The red thing is my toolbox, and behind the red box is a large black bag that I've got spare shock absorbers and other parts. Right at the very bottom there's a big sledgehammer, and also got a pick if we ever had to dig ourselves out of somewhere. But it's come in handy for some opal fossicking along the way. We're able to dig some holes. The green bag has got Ryobi gear, it's got drills and lights, a few other things in there that are just handy, all battery charged. The red one is the gas cooker. This aluminium thing is an extra length of ladder that we need for the tent, because the car's so high. There's 2 pieces up on the tent, but we need a small 3rd piece just to reach the ground. Also in behind there, can't quite see, but we store a water hose with lots of fittings, so we can actually fill up from taps, garden hoses, you name it. This is the tent pegs in that bag. It's just a spare. Moving across, we've got a fridge which just slides in and out. And here we've got the cylinder which contains a TV area. We can actually have TVs in town. I've got full swag oils, transmission oils, engine oils, all kind of spare oils that sort of sits there in an emergency. Jumper leads, heavy duty. We've got extension cord, which is mainly for Harriet's computer if we can't get close enough to a point at a caravan park. And behind that I've got a car charger, which sometimes at a caravan park it's just, rather than solar, it's just to plug that into a powered site. What else have we got? Let's go back to Phyllis's side. Inside the canvas bag on the floor we've got a satellite phone, got a massive box of heavy recovery ropes and snatch blocks and D-shackles all in there. Also there's a, on the other side we've got a air tyre compressor which we use regularly to adjust the tyre pressures based on the car surfaces. By adjusting the tyres you can absorb a lot of shock caused by corrugations. Also prevent, if the tyres are softer, you'll prevent flat tyres on sharp surfaces. If you go drop them really low, you can plough through sand and sand dunes like a tractor, no problem at all. Well, what else have we got? So ignore all of the junk that's on the back seat, which we've just purely built up for our trip. Yeah, that is the vehicle. So she looks pretty busy, but a lot going on. There's the 5th spare wheel. Remember there was a 6th spare wheel up on the roof. Ignore that junk that's in the back seat there, which is just extra to take back home. As we come around, I can't think of much else to tell you about really. So that's how 3 of us. There's the locking meter that goes on the back. But otherwise, that's pretty much a tour of our car from the 3 of us. We're full up to the gunnels. We don't buy souvenirs because there's no space. We don't buy luxury items. The only luxury item we have is a TV. So thanks for listening.